for the class of 2017. We are proud to honor our graduates for their persistence and hard work in reaching this very special moment. We are a family here at Claflin, and it gives us great joy to have taught, mentored, and guided your loved ones during their educational experience at Claflin University. Please help us enjoy this special occasion together by adhering to a few rules during the ceremony. At this time, do not turn them on your cell phones. First aid station is located through the door, which is in the hallway right behind me. After the degrees have been conferred, please remain seated until all of the graduates have left the building. You will be able to meet with them outside after the ceremony ends. And finally, please refrain from yelling or shouting after the conferral of the degrees. We are glad that you have come to help us celebrate this significant event at Claflin University. We thank you for playing such an important role in helping our graduates reach this special achievement in their lives. We proudly join you in wishing them great success in all of their future's endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commencement Convocation will now begin.
To members of the graduating class, to our parents, Friends of the university, ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely pleased to greet and welcome you to our annual commencement program. Our annual commencement program provides the opportunity to confer undergraduate and graduate degrees. It is also an occasion to acknowledge and reward our students for their academic success. And we're pleased to celebrate the Commencement Convocation in the 147th year in the illustrious history of Claflin University. We are proud of our heritage as the first historically black institution of higher education in the state of South Carolina. And we are proud of the fact, thank you, and we're proud of the fact that the original charter prohibited discrimination on the basis of color, creed, ethnic origin, or religious philosophy. We're equally proud of our legacy of an unbinding and profound commitment to excellence, to academic excellence, and dedication to graduating visionary leaders with global perspectives as a leading 21st century institution of higher education. Those who are able, will you please rise for the posting of the colors? Those who are able, please rise for the posting of the colors. Post the colors.
Order, colors. Forward, march. Ready, post colors. Post colors. Present, on. Order, on. About, face. Forward, march. Forward, march.
You may be seated. Each class adds to the legacy of the university, and each class has its own distinctive characteristics. The class of 2017 is no exception. The class of 2017 ranks among the largest in the history of the university. It includes candidates ranging from age 20 to 62. Members of the class of 2017 hail from 17 states and the District of Columbia, as well as all regions within the United States. The class of 2017 also has a growing number of students who are earning their degrees through the university's online program. The class of 2017 also features students graduating in the inaugural class of the university's newly established RN to Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, the only nursing program at an historically black college or university in the state of South Carolina. Thank you. We're also graduating for the first time graduates in the university's Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction. So we welcome those graduates. And you know, it's truly a family affair, as the class of 2017 has a mother, a son, and daughter earning graduate and undergraduate degrees. I'm just going to ask those three individuals, would you just please stand? The mother, the daughter, and the son. Thank you. Finally, the class of 2017 has brought recognition to the university as scholarly researchers who captured nationally competitive awards. All of these distinctive qualities are underscored by the academic quality of the institution that has been cultivated and nurtured by a world-class faculty and highly supportive staff. Please join me in applauding these distinctive characteristics and also applauding the class of 2017. Now, those who are able, please rise for the hymn, "Oh, for a Thousand Tongues to Sing," which is found on page 35 in the commencement program. Now, after the hymn, you may be seated for the invocation, which will be given by Reverend Carol A. Cannon, co-pastor at St. Andrew's United Methodist Church of Orangeburg. Let us all sing to the glory of God.
You may be seated. And I also want to expend my congratulations on behalf of St. Andrew's and all the United Methodist Church in South Carolina upon the graduates. You have worked hard. This is a day of pride and joy for you and for your family. And so I want to extend congratulations to each and every one of you for all your accomplishments. But let us now go to the Lord our God in prayer. Almighty God, we gather today with hearts full of praise and thanksgiving. We are thankful, O Lord, for these graduates whose work and study has brought them to this time and to this place. And we are thankful and give you praise for all that they have accomplished. We are thankful today for family, for parents and grandparents, for aunts and uncles, for husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, all of our family who've worked so hard to make this day come true and whose hearts are filled with joy for this day. We're thankful, O Lord, for faculty, for the professors, the instructors, the administration and staff who've encouraged these students, challenged them and coached them, who've demanded of them and given the best that they had. Lord, we are thankful for friends who've been made in the classrooms, in the dormitory, in the cafeteria, all around the campus. Friends and bonds of love that have been formed. We thank you for those who've stood by each other and supported one another through good times and through bad. But most of all, most gracious God, we are thankful for you. For you are our guide, you are our strength, our companion, and our deliverer. You led Abraham and Sarah to the land of Canaan. You led Moses and the people of Israel out of slavery and bondage in Egypt, through the wilderness to the promised land. And you sent your Son, Jesus Christ, to live among us, to live a life of grace and mercy, a life of justice and truth. And you led him, O Lord, up to Calvary, to the cross. But his journey did not end there, O Lord, for death did not defeat him. You raised him from the dead to reign over all the earth with mercy, with justice, and with truth. And precious Lord, you've led us, your people gathered here today for the commencement exercises of this great university, Claflin. This is a day of new beginnings, a time to look back and a time to look forward. You have been the guide, the strength, and the companion of these graduates throughout these years. Continue to guide and bless them and their families in the years ahead, that they may accomplish the work that you give them to do. Give them dreams and visions, and then give them the resources and the desire, O Lord, to be the leaders this world needs to fulfill the dreams you give them. May they glorify you and honor you in all that they do. And may all of us gathered here today follow you faithfully day by day, all the days of our lives, to the end that your kingdom of peace and justice and truth may be established here on earth. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Please allow us to pause just for a moment for some others to be seated. We do appreciate you being considerate here, but for those families who travel far to witness this moment, we want to give every opportunity for that to happen. To the ushers, if you can quietly seat a few more, we will allow, but we are going to move on with the program at this time. Please quietly seat a few more if you can, but we will move on with the program. We are pleased to have with us Mr. James A. Bennett, Chair of the Claflin University Board of Trustees, who will bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Mr. Bennett.
President Tisdale, First Lady Alice Carson Tisdale, Dr. Glaude, our special guest, my fellow trustees, distinguished members of the dais, faculty, staff, alumni, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the class of 2017. Good morning. I am extremely proud to bring remarks on behalf of the Board of Trustees. I extend my congratulations to the class of 2017. Your Claflin journey ends, but yet another begins. Your Claflin experience and education have prepared you to begin your new journey with confidence and with the skills necessary to overcome the challenges on your way to a lifelong commitment to visionary leadership and a commitment to improve human conditions. Make no mistake about it, leadership and service will transcend into success. The global world in which we live today is in very much need of visionaries. As newly endowed Claflin visionaries, you are expected to demonstrate the courage, the tenacity, determination, and the passion that will bring change in communities across this nation, across continents, and across this great state of South Carolina. As you move forward in your career, you can be sure that there will be challenges. On one hand, we have economic and environmental concerns. On the other hand, we are seeking solutions to disparities in the delivery of basic human needs like education, affordable housing, and affordable health care. You can be sure that there will not be a shortage of issues to confront and resolve. Now, I am a big Batman fan. I have probably seen almost every Batman movie. And in the movie Batman Begins, Rachel Dawes says to Batman, "Who are you underneath that cape?" And he responds, "It's not so much who I am, it's what I do." I say to the class of 2017, who are you underneath that robe? And the response is, it's not who you are, it's what you do that really defines you. And what you do is up to you. Now, it is the expectation that you will follow the footsteps of loyal and loyal sons and daughters who have received their degrees from this distinctive university. They have gone forth from this day. You can do no less. Your Claflin degree demands it. Your Claflin degree inspires it. Now, lastly, in the words of Kent Keith, who is a servant leader. He wrote this almost 50 years ago as a student at Harvard at the age of 19. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives, but do good anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow, but do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. People favor underdogs, but they follow top dogs. Fight for the underdog anyway. What you spend years building may be destroyed overnight, but build anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough, but give the world the best that you have anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyway. I wish you Godspeed, a successful and prosperous future, a future that will bring pride to you, to your family, and to this alma mater. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Trustee Bennett. Now, at this time, I'm pleased to make some special introductions, and if you would hold your applause until we come to the end, I think we can move through the introductions expeditiously. And I'll begin on the dais, and you, beginning right front row, you've met the chair of the board, Mr. James Bennett. Also on the front row is Dr. Carl S. Wright, Provost and Chief Academic Officer. Front row left, Dr. Eddie S. Glaw Jr., the commencement speaker, who will be formally introduced later in the program. On the second row from the right, Dr. Leroy A. Durant, Vice President of Student Development and Services, Reverend Whittaker V. Middleton, the Vice President for Institutional Advancement, Ms. Natasha Carter, President of the Claflin University International Alumni Association. Second row left, Reverend Carol Cannon, you've met her, and Lieutenant Colonel Holden Patterson, Professor of Military Science at South Carolina State University. Other members of the President's Cabinet include some who may be on the lower dais, Mr. Drexel Ball, the Vice President for Administration, Dr. Zia Hassan, the Vice President for Planning and Assessment, Ms. Tiwana Hudson, Vice President for Fiscal Affairs, and Ms. Melvina Williams, Executive Administrative Assistant to the President, and others on the lower platform, Dr. Randall Harris, who's the mace bearer and Assistant Professor of Biology, Mrs. Roe Hunt, the Registrar. In the audience are many special guests and friends of the university. In fact, we want you to know that you're all special, but time will not permit total recognition. I do want to acknowledge other members of the Claflin University Board of Trustees and their spouses. If you would just please rise wherever you are, members of the Board of Trustees and their spouses, if you would just please be acknowledged at this time. Thank you. We also have former members of the Claflin University Board of Trustees who are with us as well. Will the former members please rise and let us acknowledge your presence as well. Thank you very much. And of course, we have members of the Board of Visitors. If you are present, members of the Claflin University Board of Visitors, if you are present, please stand and be recognized at this time. We will also acknowledge at this time a very special group that we call the Leal and Loyal Sons and Daughters of Claflin University, and that is the Claflin University Alumni. Claflin University Alumni, will you please stand and let us recognize you at this time, the Claflin University Alumni. And I want to also acknowledge someone who is with us today, a special effort to be with us today, a former faculty member, now retired, someone who gave more than 60 years of her life to Claflin University. She was my music teacher. I'm not going to ask her to stand, but I wanted to acknowledge that we have present. She was a professor of music, chaired the music department. Mrs. Geneva Williams is with us today, and we just want to acknowledge Mrs. Geneva Williams. She's over there on the left. Okay. And then I'm pleased to acknowledge the First Lady of Claflin University and my wife, Ms. Alice Carson Tisdale. Alice, if you'll stand. And Alice and I are pleased to have visiting with us, as usual, on commencement, her mother, Mrs. Virginia Carson from Dover, Delaware, and my sister, Mrs. Lola June from Kingstree, South Carolina. We also have the mayor, our mayor, the Honorable Mayor Michael C. Butler, a Claflin graduate. We're proud of that. We have Mr. Joseph Jefferson, a member of the South Carolina House of Representatives and a Claflin graduate, and he's accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Dolores Jefferson. And I know that we have somewhere in the audience or here on the grounds another Claflin graduate, and that is the Sheriff of Orangeburg County, Mr. Ravenel, Leroy Ravenel. We're pleased to have him with us as well. You can feel safe knowing that the sheriff is among us. Will all other elected officials please stand and let us recognize you? All elected officials, please stand and let us acknowledge you. Representative Govan, Jerry Govan, thank you so much for being with us. And other clergy, members of the clergy who are present today, would you please stand and be recognized as well? Members of the clergy, thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us. We thank all of you for joining us for this 2017 Commencement Convocation. Now, the Claflin University Concert Choir will provide a musical selection titled Abide With Me. The choir is under the direction of Dr. Isaiah McGee. Now, after the selection, Dr. Carl S. Wright, our Provost and Chief Academic Officer, will introduce the candidate for an honorary degree and also our commencement speaker, the Claflin University Concert Choir.
will Dr. Eddie Glaude Jr. please join me at the podium? Dr. Glaude, at the tender age of 16, and inspired by the intellect and courage of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you left your hometown of Moss Point, Mississippi, and entered Morehouse College as a man of Morehouse. 4 years later, and after stellar undergraduate accomplishments, which included serving as the SGA president, you graduated as a Morehouse man. From Morehouse College, you went on to Temple University to earn a master's degree in African American Studies, and then on to Princeton University for another master's degree, this time in religion. You remained at Princeton, where you earned your doctorate in religion. You began your teaching career at Baldwin College, where you also served as chair of the Department of Religion. You have been a visiting scholar in African American Studies at Harvard University and Amherst College. Along the way, you earned numerous awards, including the Carl A. Fields Award. You're a founding member of the Jamestown Project, a think tank of new leaders who reach across boundaries and generations to make democracy real. In 2002, you joined the faculty at Princeton University, where you currently serve as chair of the Department of African American Studies, and where you are the William S. Todd Professor of Religion and African American Studies. Your scholarship has made you a sought-after commentator on national shows such as the Tavis Smiley Show, CNN, C-SPAN, MSNBC, and yes, Fox News Channel. You're a contributor to the Huffington Post, a columnist for Time Magazine, and have also written for the New York Times, among other national publications. You're a prolific scholar and have authored numerous articles and several noted books, including Exodus, Religion, Race, and Nation in Early 19th Century Black America, A Shade of Blue, Pragmatism and Politics of Black America, and African American Religion, A Short Introduction. Your latest book, Democracy in Black, How Race Still Enslaves the American Soul, has been called controversial and provocative. But it is works like this that make you the public intellectual that you are. Your current book project is on the literary giant James Baldwin. An article says that in the Dr. King tradition, your scholarly work seeks to prod and provoke, to insist and incite, to encourage and embolden citizens to engage in critical conversation about the important issues of the day. You are quoted as saying that intellectuals ought to serve as a moral conscience of societies. In fact, the noted intellectual, Dr. Cornel West, called you the towering intellectual of your generation. Many have said that you are a scholar who speaks to black and blue in America. Your commentary on matters like the value gap, the Great Black Depression, is insightful and indeed thought-provoking. You're known to be a convener of conversations and debates, and skilled at engaging citizens of all backgrounds. You're also noted to be frank with your commentaries and views on national issues, as indicated in your tweets to your 25,000 followers on pronouncements from the White House, such as the life and times of Andrew Jackson, and most recently, your tweets on political developments in Washington. Your letter to your son Langston following the police shootings in Baton Rouge, Minnesota, were powerful and received great national attention, as was his response to your letter. Mr. President, Mr. President, for Dr. Glaude's towering intellect, prolific scholarship, and consequential contributions to the national dialogue, I present him to you to bestow upon him the honorary Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa.
Dr. Glaude, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church, upon recommendation of the faculty and approval of the Claflin University Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer upon you the honorary Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Ladies and gentlemen, and the class of 2017, I am pleased to present our commencement speaker, Dr. Eddie S. Glaude, and congratulations, Dr. Glaude.
Thank you so much, President Tisdale. Thank you, Dr. Wright, Chairman Bennett, to the members of the Board of Trustees, the distinguished faculty, and to the extraordinary class of 2017. Thank you for this honor and for the opportunity to share with you the joy of this special day. I haven't gotten used to this. I'm a country boy from the coast of Mississippi. And the significance of these occasions often overwhelm me. I'm reminded of my mother, who worked the third shift at Ingalls Shipyard cleaning toilets, and my father, who endured the blistering heat of Mississippi summers as he delivered mail, and my great-grandmother, Ruby Wilson, who toiled as a domestic in the homes of white folks, bought a stove with dimes, and made the best pinto beans on the planet Earth. Humble beginnings. And now I find myself here with you, honored to share a few words on this most auspicious day as you transition into the next phase of the life each of you have been called to live. Now, life can be a bit strange. No matter where you start, no matter what the circumstances may be, that place, that beginning, I've come to believe, is a place of value precisely because you, someone wholly unprecedented, resides there. From the most unassuming places, beauty and brilliance can emerge. Ralph Ellison in The Little Man at Chehaw Station reminds us that excellence is not the sole possession of the privileged, of the rich and the mighty, that it is often evidenced in the unexpected places, among those who all too often are underestimated, and who turn out to be the visionaries to transform the world. You have dedicated your college years to the arduous task of self-creation. Y'all all right? I don't want to take too much of your time. But you've dedicated your college years to the arduous task of self-creation, to preparing yourselves to enter a world that is, without mincing words, exceedingly dark. And the pressing question you must answer is, will you choose to play it safe, to resign yourselves to the world as it is, or will you dare to risk everything to help create the world as it could be. Now, one of the beautiful things about college is that we get to experiment on who we take ourselves to be. We leave behind the constraints of home, and here we tinker. We try on new selves as our understanding of the world expands. It's like that moment in Of the Coming of John in Du Bois's classic, The Souls of Black Folk. The laughing, easygoing country boy is transformed by his exposure to the life of the mind. Scales fall from his eyes, no longer looking through a glass darkly. He sees the world anew and sets out to make his mark. This happens in places like Claflin. In classrooms, you encountered the writings of W.E.B. Du Bois and James Baldwin and Toni Morrison. You read Ralph Waldo Emerson and Walt Whitman and Virginia Woolf. Something happened in the lab or as you struggled with equations. In each moment, in each encounter, you felt yourself growing, stretching out, and suddenly how you walked changed. The references that peppered your speech widened. And folks back home, as mine did, said, you done went off to college and got new. It's that way sometimes. The world has a way of pinching in on your shoulders and conspires oftentimes with others to make you small. And we often fail to resist. We conform and concede to the thinness of imagination, right? And that leads us to believe that everyone should be as much alike as possible. But this precious place offered you refuge and gave you unimaginable opportunities to imagine yourselves otherwise. Now let me say this. This work of self-creation isn't a simple bourgeois preoccupation. The tradition out of which I come, one stained by the brutality of slavery and the terror of Jim Crow and its ongoing afterlife, has resisted in every generation the effort to consign us, you and me, to our place in relation to others. That is to say, the arduous work of self-creation across the proverbial tracks has always taken place against the backdrop of a host of assumptions about who you are and what you are capable of and who you can become. I'm reminded of the words of James Baldwin. In his essay, The Uses of the Blues, Baldwin writes, I'm talking about what happens to you if, having barely escaped suicide or death or madness or yourself, you watch your children growing up, and no matter what you do, President Tisdale, no matter what you do, you are powerless. You are really powerless against the forces of the world that's out to tell you and your child that he has no right to be alive. And no amount of liberal jargon, Baldwin writes, and no amount of talk about how well and how far we have progressed does anything to soften or to point out any solution to this dilemma. In every generation, ever since Negroes have been brought here, every Negro mother and father has had to face that child and try to create in that child some way of surviving this particular world. Some way to make the child who will be despised not despise himself. Here, Baldwin foregrounds that the fact of growing up, of coming of age in a place that denies you standing, distorts and disfigures one's sense of self, one's character. It arrests one's capacities, and in that light, it is with great effort and risk that one takes up the task of self-creation in such a world. Y'all all right? Just checking on you. You have to persuade yourselves against all that would have you to believe otherwise, that your lives are not worth less than other folks, and that the assumptions of the world ought not dictate how you see yourselves. This is the context in which you reach for higher excellences. But this task isn't rooted in some fixed destination or some final resting place of perfection. I'm thinking here of Emerson's spiral stairs going upward, taking each step and leaving one behind. Life's journey consists of better and more excellent versions of who we take ourselves to be. Each experience of significance, especially here at Claflin, called you to a higher sense of yourself and required the abandonment of old versions. But the daunting challenge of seeking a higher self in a world that denies one's standing, in a world that requires once again that we shout Black Lives Matter, gives new meaning to Du Bois's cry of two unreconciled strivings. For African Americans, as Langston Hughes wrote, life ain't been no crystal stair. Self-creation for you isn't some adolescent engagement with rugged individualism. No, the moment you insist on your individuality, the distinctiveness of your voice, the moment in which you view your life as the canvas to create art, the order of things is unsettled. Some become nervous. As Baldwin put it so many years ago, when people whose destiny and identity have always been controlled by others, when they decide and state that they will no longer be controlled by others' vision of them, when they reject the identity given to them, they're talking revolution. I don't know why they invited me to speak to you. You know I'm going to tell the truth. These years at Claflin have been your training ground to forge a distinctive self in right relation with others. And for those of you who study political theory, when I talk about right relation, I'm talking about non-domination. It is not easy, not simply because of the assumptions of the broader society, but because it requires an honest confrontation with who we take ourselves to be. All the pain and all the wounds that make us who we are, those broken parts on the inside that we've pushed down, deep down, and somehow we've survived them. And we have to confront that with understandable fear and hesitation. We have to touch intimately on the inside that which has hurt us. It frees us to reach for a higher self. Baldwin comes to mind again. He says, everybody's hurt. Everybody is hurt. What is important, what corrals you, what bullwhips you, what drives you, torments you, is that you must find some way of using this hurt to connect you with everyone else alive. You must understand that your pain is trivial, except insofar as you can use it to connect with other people's pain. And insofar as you can do that, and then hopefully it works the other way around too. Insofar as I can tell you what it is to suffer, perhaps I can help you suffer less. I can come to terms with the pain of my daddy. That's why I left home at 16. I was running away from him. Instead of running to the streets, I ran away to college. But here Baldwin says that we have to attend to the pain that constitutes who we are. Will we be wounded healers or wounded hurters is the question. He insists that our turn inward does not end with narcissism, where the only thing that matters is our own pain or the fulfillment of our own selfish desires. Self-creation brings us into the orbit of others with whom we share the world. We work on ourselves so that we can be better with others. Evasion of our own private horrors manifests in the disaster that often becomes our public lives. This is hard work. I'm coming home. And the temptation to retreat into the illusion of safety. The temptation to retreat into the illusion of safety always looms. We can play it safe and not disrupt the world's assumptions. Keep our heads low and take the bribe. Get a nice job and a beautiful home, a sweet ride, and enjoy the pleasures of a false kind of freedom. You like your nice shoes. Got your nice watch. Buy your nice hair. Oh, I'm sorry. We can leave our personal demons unattended, push our private horrors deep down and refuse to confront the jagged edges of our experiences. We can simply justify our fantasies and lock ourselves up in the safety of willful ignorance and innocence. With all of this, we remain exactly who we are, permanently in the dock, trading in the illusion that our narrow world is the world as it is and as it always will be. I pray that you refuse this temptation. And now here you are graduating into a world defined by the likes of Donald J. Trump. I know, President Tisdale, you didn't think I was going to touch it, but I'm going to touch it. Here you are graduating into a world defined by the likes of Donald J. Trump, someone who holds the view that some people, because of the color of their skin or how much money they make, ought to be valued more than others. You are graduating into a world marked by economic insecurity, war, and unimaginable greed and callousness. This is the context of self-creation for you. How will you respond? Will you risk yourselves to make a better world? Or will you retreat into the comforting illusion of safety? How might we hear your voice amid the white noise of Trumpism and the sorrowful cries of families like that of Jordan Edwards? Sometimes you have to sing off key to be heard. What will be the nature of your steps once you leave the hallowed halls of Claflin? I know the world cries out for visionaries, courageous women and men who aren't perfect, who are wounded in every way, but they have decided to be wounded healers and not wounded hurters. They are the ones who are daring to risk everything for a more just world, a world as it could be, because they understand the imagination is the battleground. You have these folk out here conspiring to make you believe that the world as it is the only way the world can be. They want us to concede that this is and always will be a white nation. But you, the mighty class of 2017, you stand in an old faith, a faith in the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You understand that from the most unexpected places comes a beauty and brilliance that can change the world. You are that beauty. You are that brilliance. Now go out and transform the world.
Thank you, Dr. Glaude, for that very powerful and inspiring message. And let's give him another round of applause. You know, I am confident that the class of 2017 will remember the challenge to go forth, to take the dare, not just to change, but to transform the world. Thank you very much for your presentation. Our University Concert Choir will now come forth with a selection, If I Got My Ticket. Dr. McGee.
I got my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket. Ride away into heaven in the morning. Lord, if I got my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket. Can I ride away into heaven in the morning? I hear the roaring of the gospel train. It was clicking and clacking, but Lord, it didn't string. So long coming that it worried my mind. I thought it was late, but it was just in time. Lord, if I got my ticket, yeah. Lord, if I got my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket, yeah. Right away into heaven.
Hear me talk about the judgment day. You got no time to waste away by and by without a doubt. Jehovah will order his train about. Lord, if I got my
my ticket. Lord, if I got my ticket, right away to heaven in the morning.
Lord, if I got my ticket,
my ticket.
One last round of applause for the Claflin University Concert Choir. Let's also acknowledge the university's wind ensemble. The wind ensemble is directed by Dr. Margaret Young Wetzel, and we're very proud of that. They are all outstanding ambassadors for the university. Dr. Wright will now come forward to present 2 faculty awards.
The James E. Hunter Faculty Excellence in Teaching Award is presented to the members of Claflin University faculty who demonstrates outstanding qualities in teaching, advisement, research, service, and grantsmanship. Following a review process by a committee, this year's winner is Dr. Arizo Borojade. Dr. Borojade is an associate professor of chemistry in the Department of Chemistry. She has excelled in classroom performance and has been instrumental in contributing to the department's curriculum development. Her classroom innovation and ability to infuse cutting-edge research and technology into teaching made her the leading candidate for this prestigious award. Dr. Borojade.
Dr. Borojade, we congratulate you, and it's my distinct honor to present you the James C. Hunter Excellence in Teaching Award for outstanding performance in teaching and educational development. We present this citation and also a monetary award as well. Congratulations.
Trustee Attorney William and spouse Annette Johnson generously established this award, the William H. and Annette Johnson Annual Faculty Award for Innovative Scientific Research. This award was established to recognize, inspire, and reward scientific innovation. This year, the award goes to Dr. Endowed, an assistant professor of computer science. Dr. Mondal has taken bioinformatics and data analytics to new heights at Claflin. In recognition of his scholarship in these areas, the National Science Foundation recently awarded Dr. Mondal the prestigious Early Career Development Award for $515,000. And I have to say, Dr. Mondal is one of the few professors in the country to receive that award. And for this and other reasons, he's receiving the William and Annette Johnson Award for Scientific Innovation. Dr. Mondal.
Dr. Mondal, congratulations, and it's my distinct honor to present the Attorney William H. and Annette B. Johnson Endowed Faculty Award for Innovative Scientific Research. And by the way, I want to I would ask that Attorney Johnson, would you please stand, and Ms. Annette Johnson, will you please stand, and let us acknowledge you as we make the presentation. And this is presented to Dr. Ananda Mondal in recognition of ongoing, novel, and substantively significant scientific research. And of course, it's presented on this 147th Commencement Convocation. Again, congratulations. We present the citation, and also a monetary award accompanies the presentation as well. Congratulations. At this time, we will have Reverend Middleton to come forward, the Vice President for Institutional Advancement. He will come forward and present members of the class of 1967, 50 years ago, and they have returned, the golden class of 1967.
Mr. President, it is my distinct honor to present to you the Claflin University class of 1967. Will the candidates for the Golden Diploma please stand as your names are called and remain standing until all have been called? Alan Britt, Theresa Thompson Davis, Alma Long Cooper, Samuel Beverly Cooper, Verdina Britt Dawkins, Estelle Gelzer Gerald, Robert Gerald Jr., Affie Mack Gibson, Charles Henry Govan Jr., James Leroy Hodges, Johnny Jackson, Delona Jameson Kendall, Nettie Jennings Johnson, Sherrod C. Kennedy Sr., Thomas Nolan, Carolyn LeCue, Mary Frances Mack, Lavelle Brigman Marshall, May Frances S. Middleton, Patricia Hayes Patterson, Wesley Pringle, Willie Mae Rayford, Betty Martin Rivers, Susie Wiggins Sexton, Dozelle Stewart, Georgia Brooker Sturgis, Gustina Keels Tucker, Earlene Alma, Harold Wallace Sr., Julia Richardson Wright. At this time, will the family members of the Golden Diploma recipients please stand along with them? And with all of the previous Golden class members and members of the Golden Club, would you please stand at this time along with them? Mr. President, I present to you these leal and loyal sons and daughters for awarding of the Golden Diploma.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church, upon recommendation of the Alumni Association and approval of the Claflin University Board of Trustees, I award you the Golden Diploma with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, class of 1967. At this time, I will present the recipient for the 2017 Presidential Excellence in Leadership and Service Award. The recipient this year of the President Award for Excellence in Student Leadership and Service is Mr. Andy Michel. Upon arrival, let me share some things about Andy. Upon his arrival at the university 4 years ago, Mr. Michel fully embraced the characteristics of visionary leadership and selfless service. His stellar academic performance as a freshman led to an invitation to become a member of the Alice Carson Tisdale Honors College, and Mr. Michel will graduate with a grade point average of 3.9. A criminal justice major from Seat Pleasant, Maryland, Mr. Michel served in a number of leadership positions and was elected president of the Student Government Association as a junior, following his leadership as president of the sophomore class. His community service while at Claflin includes founder and executive director of the Academy for Gentlemen and a member of the board of directors at the Wesley Foundation. Having served as battalion commander in the university's ROTC program, Mr. Michel is expected to be commissioned as second lieutenant into the active duty Army and assigned to the Chemical Corps. He's also expected to attend basic officer leaders course at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to present the Presidential Outstanding Leadership and Service Award. Dr. Wright will now come forward and present the recipients of the 2017 Presidential Academic Excellence Awards.
It is customary at this time to present the undergraduate student graduating with the highest grade point average. But, as President Tisdale said earlier, the class of 2017 is a special class. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie for the highest GPA. In fact, it is a tie among 10 students. An extraordinary record. 10 students from the class of 2017 have a perfect GPA, 4.0. We refer to them as a very talented 10. I'm pleased to present these talented 10 to you. Students with a perfect 4.0, please come forward. Your name will be called in alphabetic order, beginning with Mr. Saksham Dahal. Computer science major from Nepal. Here he comes. Headed to Apple Computers as a quality engineer after he leaves Claflin. Javan Francis, sport management major. From the twin island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. Headed to graduate school. Joshua Hughes, psychology major from Bennettsville, South Carolina. Already pursuing a master's degree in psychology at Winthrop University. Pradip Kanal from Nepal. Computer science major, likely headed to the Silicon Valley. Abigail Kosgei, biochemistry major from Kenya. Next semester, she will be enrolled at Rice University in a PhD program in biochemistry and cell biology. Brandy Miller, business administration from Chesterfield, South Carolina. Still weighing multiple career options, and I'm sure she'll decide soon. Emmanuel Mang, from computer science major from Nigeria. More about Emmanuel later. Taylor Reynolds, early childhood education. Headed to graduate school at University of Georgia. Jenna Washington, Evansville, Indiana. On her way to Brown University in a PhD program in applied mathematics. Raven Woods, business administration from Blackville, South Carolina. Weighing multiple offers, too many to decide among. The talented 10. Normally, the student who delivers the challenge to the graduating class is the person with the highest GPA. Can't get it more perfect than a 4.0. So when there's a tie, the student chosen is the one who took the most credit at Claflin. Ladies and gentlemen, this year the honor goes to Mr. Emmanuel Mang. He went to get a speech. And you should know that after today's ceremony, Emmanuel will relocate to California, where he will join SurveyMonkey as a software engineer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the challenge to the graduating class by Mr. Emmanuel Monk.
Good afternoon, President, Mrs. Tisdale, distinguished faculty and staff, and the families and friends that have come from far and near to celebrate this milestone achievement. To the class of 2017, I say good afternoon and congratulations. I congratulate you for being here, for starting this journey, and for having the fortitude to complete it. It has been incredibly challenging. There have been tears, frustrations, second guesses, and sleepless nights. But like me, you have weathered the storms and showed up today. For this, I congratulate you. As we celebrate today, however, there are a few things we must remember. Although the journey thus far has been long and arduous, it's only the beginning. Making it this far means we can do so much more. My mother always told me that the higher you move in life, the greater the challenges that you would face, and the stronger you would need to be to defy those challenges. Making it this far really means that you can do so much more, and you have it in you to do so much more. Dream, never stop dreaming. If your dreams do not frighten you, then your dreams aren't big enough. The world is big enough to accommodate a limitless range of possibilities, and it is left to us to tap into the resources at our disposal to visualize and to create those dreams. But a dream will remain only a dream until you put in the effort, the sweat, the tears required to make it a reality, much like you made this degree a reality. This means discipline, determination, and a strong work ethic are all traits that we must painstakingly nurture in ourselves. An old African proverb says, "A bird does not change its feathers because the weather is bad." In our quest for greatness, we must remember to stay true to ourselves and to navigate the world with a clarity of purpose. We must never waver in bad times or get carried away by the good times. We must not forget where we come from as Claflinites. Above all, I implore you to never forget to prioritize your physical and emotional well-being. Be aware, discover where your happiness lies, build happy relationships, and develop strong support systems. Prioritize your mental health, because a sound mind is a sound body. I'd like to thank my professors, my family, and my friends for their love and support throughout my time here. And on behalf of the class of 2017, I see a big thank you to Claflin University. You have been immensely instrumental to our development. In all, I am honored to be standing here. Me, the young Nigerian boy from Nigeria with big dreams, now graduating valedictorian. You can achieve whatever you set out to achieve. I am even more honored to have grown alongside each of you these past 4 years. I hope you all remember that when twilight lifts her curtain and pins it with a star, you will always have a home here at Claflin University. As the saying goes, Veni, Vedi, Vici. We came, we saw, and we have conquered. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Director. We'll now move on to another segment of our program. But as we do, I remind you that graduation is an important event in the lives of our students and their families. Please remember, in a graduation ceremony, as in a church service, any unsolicited applause, catcalls, whistles, or other type of noise is inappropriate. Please show respect for all graduates and for all families. We thank you in advance for your consideration. At this time, Dr. Wright will come forward.
I'm pleased to present the deans of the 4 schools at Claflin University: Dr. Charles Richardson, Dean, School of Business; Dr. Nicole Strange Martin, Dean, School of Education; Dr. Isaiah McGee, Interim Dean, School of Humanities and Social Sciences; Dr. Verily Graham Tisdale, Dean of the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Will the candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree, the Master of Science in Biotechnology, the Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, please stand. Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements for the master's degree in their respective fields, have been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees. I present them to you for the conferring of the Master in Business Administration degree, the Master of Science in Biotechnology degree, or the Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church, upon recommendation of the faculty and approval of the Claflin University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the Master of Business Administration degree, the Master of Science in Biotechnology degree, and the Master of Education with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Candidates, please come forward.
Shishir Kanal. Krishna Balitalabai Patel. Beverly Ann Peltzer. Deborah Ann Sistrunk. Ruby Monago Smalls. Narendra Thapa. Meet Shanjakumar Patel. Abriana Lashiai Bedrick. Rondisha Lachey Clark. Jessica Denise Elliott. Robin Liana Green. Ivy Robin Jones. Jason Eugene Leverett. John Alvin Moore II. Jarrell Cleveland Rogers. Stevie Patricia Scott. Christina Pace Tisdale. Dora Evan Waymer. Ijama Epanuma. Gregory Bernard Goodwin. Mahalia Cortina Sam Clark.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree and the Bachelor of Science degree please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all of the requirements for the bachelor's degree in their respective fields, have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I present them to you for the conferring of the Bachelor of Arts degree or the Bachelor of Science degree in their respective fields.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the General Board of Higher Education and Ministry of the United Methodist Church, upon recommendation of the faculty and approval of the Claflin University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts degree or the Bachelor of Science degree in your respective fields with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Please be seated. You'll be led to the stage by the marshal. Marshals?
Kirat Abdullah, Andre Aaron Alexander, Aloysius Shantas Anderson, Adre Fafa Ranka, Benjamin Laquan Jaquan Baker, Keith Lamont Bell Jr., Desmond Tyrell Boyd, Imani Renee Jernigan Bratton, Taisha Renee Brayboy, Quanisha Brown, Tapenya Drusilla Carr, Cortez Chisholm, Shani Coulter, Clayton Taft Cooper Jr., Veronica Norman Cornell, Shakira Khadidra Mitchell, Needham McNeil, Tamia Desiree Kimberly Murphy, Tanya Yvette Oliver Davis, Latasha Rochelle Dorch, Nicola Drobniak, Nathan Gamble III, Hydrick Gass Jr., Brittany Nicole Gibson, Lakeisha Lenora Grant, Tamari N. Green, Kawana Shalice Green, Monica Irene Green, Michael O'Neill Henderson, Xavier L. Mobley James, Johnny DJ Jenkins, Alexis Leisha Johnson, Cynthia Hampton Snyder, Jamera Tishana Stewart, Nicholas R. Stewart, Shaniqua Lavon Jones, Salifa Iana Joseph, Gregory S. King, Deshaun Rayvon Lortz, Annette Regina Mack, Beulah Simmons Mack, Tanisha Monique McDuffie, Alexia Noel McLeod, Kathleen Maria McClendon, Amber Unique McCoy, Kalila Sauda Imani McKee, Sierra Danielle Means, Brandy Leigh Miller, Shaquan Nickel Wary, Norman Xavier Williams III, LaShunya Lewis Wally, Raven Alexandria Leigh Woods. Julian Dorell Wyman. Ashley Monique Myers. Jermaine Orr. Yaricel Larissa Hall Perry. Jeanette Coulter Preston. Nicholas Deshawn Bruce Reinhardt. Michael Alexander Rivera. Destiny Portia Rivers. Tahari Danye Sadler. Tawani H. Shanks. Taylor Melinda Shirley. Amber Tiara Shells. Lillian Patricia Watson. Deborah Lynette Walker. Colin Harold Wagner Jr. Gregory Warren Thomas Jr. Drequan LaRon Thomas. Tyrone Aiken Jr. Aaliyah Chantel Alston. DeRay D. Alston. Torrey Samuel Thomas Andrews. Naisha Sherelle Arnold. Ashley Nicole Bates. Tyrone Trayvon Battle Jr. Bria Journey Bronston. Christian Lamar Brown. Demetrius D. Bryant. Brandon Rondell Bird. Adolph Caldwell Jr. Brada Cherie Chisholm. Thomas Clay. Jaquimus Shaquin Crouch. Tari B. Curry. Deja Maisha Denise Daniel. Carlos Antonio Dubois Jr. Kimon Rashad Eisen. Javon Isaac Francis. Courtney Lachey Frazier. Chantel Jasmine Gathers. Timothy Desmond Geiger Jr. Jacob Miguel Gilliard. Kedarian Lamonte Graham. Chelsea Louise Hall. Kiara S. Hamilton. Say it again. Jerice Devon Billy Hawkins. Justin Richard Higgs. Nabrisha Tana Hughes. Rashawn Laquin Jones. Samuel Kyle Kitchen. Trey Joshua Law. Kimberly Jasmine Leggett. McKinley Roy Tyler Leverett. Ashley Kiera McKitton. Athena Teresa Redding Morgan. Jabari Evander Octavius Rambo. Taylor Danielle Reynolds. Raymond Brian Rogers. Reginald Charles Rogers. Nicole Adrienne Ruff. Brianna Chavez Samuels. Kayla Michelle Sanderson. Janica Danielle Sarat. Joshua Israel Simon. Johnny Stevenson III. Gloria Jean Sumter. Kentrell Taquan Thompson. Pharrell Samuel Walker. Corey Demetrius Williams. Emmanuel Sadarius Wright. Natasha Jeffrey Ayene. Taylor Michelle Bankhead. Tamiko Latrell Baxter. Shaquana Monique Bell. Zenobia Rena Bennett. LaShawn Shanae Beverly. Matthew DeLeon Boone. Lexis Diana Bozier. Betty Diana Bowman. Jabari D. Brown. Jatori Iman Brown. Kiana Deasia Brown. Tamara Shanice Brown. Talisha S. Burbage. Alicia Etiana Bachwakwa Burgess. Nakia T. Busby. Jasmine Shanil Bush. Jaquetta Brianna Carter. Kiera Alexis Carter. Jonathan Gerard Cooper. Ebony Nicole Copeland. Trevor Tyshawn Dantzler. Kalia Amani Davis. Ricardo Dante Davis. Torrance Jeremiah Davis. Andre Martise Dawkins. Caitlin Brianna Deloach. Tamika Dixon. Tatiana Aspieza Donaldson. Ebony Romani Edwards. Ativia Shadray Felder. Shantoria Deborah Fields. George Andrew Folk Jr. Aisha Mackie Franklin. Darian Freeman. Adisha Najia Furman. Gregory Kenneth Gary. Demaja Shanice Gators. Catherine M. Gates. Crystal Elena George. Second Lieutenant Akela Tierra Shakur Gilliard. Khadijah Diamond Gleaton. Courtney A. Glover. Aaron Philip Golson. Tamika LaGrace Green. Monique Shantae Green. Rodriguez Levon Green. Niquelan G. Griffin. Sakaya Takisia Hagler. Alan James Thomas Heath. Desmond Dallas Henderson. Erica Juquieta Hicks. Denzel Rakeem Hodges. Miles Avery Harland. Veronica Holmes. Zania Michelle Horton. Marlon Jamal Howard. Second Lieutenant Rashad Antoine Howes. Anikam Jabari Hudson. Joshua Mitchell Hughes. Worley Hippolyte. Jewel Alexander Inabinet II. Kendra Shakela Irick. Michaela Chanel Jackson. Ashley Monique Johnson. Kelly Unique Johnson. Kevin Avery Johnson. Ravyasha Milikisha Johnson. Sarah Janae Jones. Tefrika Ginola Keat. Jamie Knowlton Kennerly. Lexis Kiana Monique Lawrence. Malcolm Henry Lemons. Kristen Donovan Lewis. Ayana Denise Latanzi Lewis. Bria Taniqua Lindsay. Malik Lucas. Sharon Harris Martin. Brittany Aisha McLeod. Joshua McCray Jr. Deshonda Michelle McFadden. Andy Lucien Michelle. Avery Somia Moore. Akila M. Morgan. Ryan Darnell McNeil Moses. Alicia Simone Moss. Alton Eugene Murray. Anthony Dion Myers. Erica Tachina Owens. Jordan Shannon Page. Kristen Noel Paquette. Alexis Chardonnay Pearson. Corey Lamar Pearson. Mayana Tashay Pearson. Valencia Francina Perry. Sean Alexander Porterfield. Alita LaShawn Pride. Samora Pryor. Jocelyn Rose Ramos. Dennis Edward Richmond, Jr. Tanyetta Laquavia Wicks. Courtney Alexander Riley, Jr. Reuben Trenton Roberts. Wilson Akim Robinson. Alexis Nicole Rogers. Neil Michael Rogers. Amanda Maria Rush. Natalie Nicole Sally. Brittany Charnay Samuels. Vincent Sherrod Sanders II. Xavier T. Sanders. Lakaya Tiara Scott. Connie Ann Sherrill. Maria Miyoko Simmons. Second Lieutenant Brittany Terrain Singletary. Brianna Jeray Sitton. Kiara Sharnice Smalls. Shannon Kimberly Smalls. Wilhelmina Smalls. Mache Liana Smith. Trey Lamar Smith. Alexander Wesley Speed. Javante Lamar Spencer. Adarius Lakeith Stewart. Shaquanda Shanil Sweetman. Devontae Thomas. Kimberly Breon Thomas. Christopher Isaiah Thomas. Brandy Lachey Threet. Myasia Alea Timmons. Bashala Natia Truesdale. Diamond Wayne Tyler. Khadijah Nikwan Fogi Vance. Dominique Simone Walker. Sierra Danae Wallace. Malela Janisa Waller. Eric Washington. Teneda Nicole Washington. Chiasha Jetwan Washington. Alexandria Sierra Wells. Kiana Lachelle Williams. Joshua Jaquan Williamson. Dominique Mishwan Wilson. Jolanda Chanel Wilson. Marcus Casson Wilson. Marshall Wingate Jr. DeMonica D. Woodard. Nakia S. Avila. Kiana Denise Ballard. Jordan Nicole Barnes. Antiam Milik Barr. Amari Jania Batiste. Huabian Shayabi Belton. Rashana Rashay Blackwood. Joyce Elaine Brown. Charlene Latoya Brown. Alexis Anika Tion Burgess. Jabril S. Burley, Marcus Gregory Campbell, Ronnie Amir Cannon, Michelle Taryn Capers, Rochelle Latrice Cohen, Trey Lequin Coleman, Tariq J. Commander, Kimberly Nicole Elliott, Manoa Elika Farmer, Shelby Thais Gadsden, Stephanie N. Gibson, guitarist John Goldston, Hannah Christina Hart, Kareem Akeem Heslop, Christopher Charles Hudson, Khadijah Lachey Johnson, Regine L. Johnson, Dequacia Lanice Jones, Pradeep Kanal, Mahlan K. Kiowa, Abigail Jasang Koske, Asia Mona Liggins, Hadia Rachel Loudon, Kimberly Dorothy May Muson, Henry Nitiako Nixon, Jacqueline Brianna Pleasant, Quisha Sharikumar Patel, Ashley Michelle Poche, Noel Ranjit, Kiara Antoinette Weems, Sonia Andrea Rosales, Promise Ariane Scott, Indira Nicole Simpson, Nasha Area Singletary, Amon Janelle Barr Cook, Jason Shem Cummins, Sakshyam Dahal, Bashad Ulrich Donald, Andre Leatherberry Daniels, Ifananye Kingsley Uche, Jenna Rose Marie Washington, Orlando Garfield Watson, India Hannah Lynette Williams, Deja Mariana Woodbury, Brianna Danielle Worley, Ebony Lakitra Litch, Ludi Martinez, Benjamin Alston Miller, Pesha Latrice Miller, Emmanuel Ininoya Mong, Austin Campbell Moss, Gretchen Robinson Folk, Tracy Lachelle Graham, Kathy Jameson, Priscilla Mintz Cook, David Troy Olney. Joshua Stover, Jana Stover Patrick. Hayward Stanley Robinson II. Taylor Ashanti Williams.
Will all undergraduates, those receiving their bachelor's degrees, please stand? This is the time when we want you to turn your tassels. Thank you, thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all. We will now have a special part of the program where we will have our Army ROTC commissioning ceremony with one of the largest groups we've had. Our Army ROTC program is in partnership with South Carolina State University. I am pleased to present at this time Lieutenant Colonel Holden Patterson. Please come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Peterson, and I'm proud to say that I'm the leader of the ROTC program. Before I call up the commissionees, I'd like to share with you just some statistics. We've had a legendary year, a hallmark year. 16 of 19 of our cadets assess active duty. So to put some perspective on it, this is not an easy feat. They embody student, scholar, and athlete. And we run them through the rigors, and some of you probably already know exactly some of the things that we do. 5 of 6 will get recognized today. One, just because of some government paperwork, we're unable to commission him. His name is Andy Michelle. I know you all hold him very dear. We will take care of him. We will commission him in a very big way. The next one, she kind of popped out on us, but you know, we had complete confidence that she was going to be able to execute it, and her name is Taylor Jones. You probably hadn't realized it, but there's some magic in the room. Claflin University, I will tell you, I've been to a lot of universities, and Claflin University is comparable to any of the best Ivy League schools, let me tell you. Commissionees, post. President Tisdale, these commissionees have met all the requirements for commissioning of second lieutenants in the United States Army. Sir, I present them for your approval.
Approval is granted.
about peace. Please raise your right hand. I state your full name. Having been appointed an officer in the United States Army as indicated above in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. About peace.
Second Lieutenant Akela Tierra Shakur Gilliard is commissioned into the active duty Army and assigned to the Field Artillery. She will attend the Basic Officer Leaders Course at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and remain at Fort Sill for her first assignment. She will be penned by her mother, Mrs. Demetrius Rivers, and her grandfather, Mr. Richard Gilliard. Second Lieutenant Connie Ann Chereau is commissioned into the active duty Army and assigned to the Quartermaster Corps. She will attend the Basic Officers Leaders Corps at Fort Lee, Virginia, and assigned to Camp Italy, Vicenza, Italy. She will be penned by her sisters, Mrs. Sharmika Chereau and Mrs. Christina Griffey. Second Lieutenant Brittany Terrain Singletary is commissioned into the active duty Army, a distinguished military graduate, and is assigned to the Finance Corps. She will attend Basic Officer Leader Course at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and assigned to Fort Carson, Colorado. She will be penned by her former high school teacher, Mrs. Tressa Gibbs, and a good friend, Mr. Jason Cummins. Second Lieutenant Rashawn Antoine Howes is commissioned into the active duty Army and assigned to the Adjutant General's Corps. As he's detailed to the Chemical Corps, he will attend the Basic Officer Leaders Course at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. His first assignment is Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. He will be penned by his parents, Mr. Sean and Mrs. Carla Howes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Claflin University Army Commissioning Class for Spring 2017. This moves the total to 122 officers commissioned from Claflin University and the Army newest second lieutenants. In addition, 2 students will have the opportunity to gain their commission this summer. As a part of your Spring 2017 commencement class, will Cadet Taylor Janae Jones and Cadet Annie Lucian Francis Michelle Post. Upon completing their summer requirements, these 2 individuals will join their brothers and sisters of spreading the Claflin University mystique around the world and defending the values of the great country. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for their accomplishments.
Last October, as many of you will recall, the university was struck by a painful blow when 4 students were tragically killed in an automobile accident in Columbia, South Carolina. The 5th student involved survived and returned to the university for this spring semester. 2 of those students, Darrell Pendergrass and Melvin Jordan, were making academic progress towards receiving their degrees. And that is Melvin Jordan Jackson were making progress toward receiving their degrees as members of the class of 2017. The university has decided, upon the recommendation of the faculty and approval of the Board of Trustees, to honor their memory by presenting their degree to their parents. I will come down and invite the families to come forward. First, I'm going to invite the parents and even family members, if you choose, to come down to receive the degree for Melvin Jackson. And the degree is the Bachelor of Science in Sport Management posthumously. Will the Jackson family please come down? Now, following the Jackson family, we will then invite the family of Darrell Pendergrass Jr. to come, parents and family to come forward to receive the degree, the Bachelor of Science in Sport Management posthumously for Darrell Jackson Jr. Ms. Natasha Carter, President of the Claflin University International Alumni Association, will now induct the new alumni into the International Alumni Association. Ms. Carter.
Good afternoon. I'm Natasha Carter, President of the CUIAA. And no ceremony is really complete without a little bit of shameless plugging, right? So, as visionaries going into this global and technological society, I think I heard SurveyMonkey and even Apple, and I'm the military, and I'm sure some other really great job offers out there. We're really excited to have you as a part of our network. So, to find out more information about the Alumni Association, visit claflinuniversityalumni.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at Claflin Alumni, and you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at CUIAA. And for today, just for you guys, find us on Snapchat. We have a special filter for you. Now, if you all would please stand. You guys didn't like my shameless plug-in? Okay, so now we'll induct each and every one of you into the lovely Claflin University International Alumni Association. So I will read this and I will give you instructions to follow. Will you solemnly vow and affirm that as alumni of Claflin University, you will do everything in your power to foster the spirit of intelligent inquiry in this university and harmony in mankind, in the community in which you live and work, and will act to preserve the attributes at all times? If so, say, I will. Will you solemnly vow and affirm that as alumni of Claflin University, you will propagate and otherwise support the goals of the university and will give moral, mental, and financial support without reservation, willingly and to the fullest of your means? If so, say, I will. Now, if you all would, please hold up your right hand and repeat after me. I will, in the interest of Claflin University, assume this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. It brings me great joy to welcome each and every one of you to the Claflin University International Alumni Association. Our network is further strengthened with each of you. As alumni, you represent all that is great about Claflin University, your past accomplishments, your future achievements, the way in which you live, and the values by which you live reflect upon the educational values learned here at Claflin. I look forward to working with you all, and remember to wear your orange and maroon loud and proud. And don't forget to accessorize with your Claflin confidence. Claflinites, congratulations and welcome to the CUIAA.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. Class of 2017, we send you forth and trust that you will go forth with a commitment to visionary leadership and selfless service. And finally, I highly recommend that you take God with you wherever you go. Remember, Claflin University is your home. Come home often. Again, I congratulate you. And to all of our participants today, we thank you for your support. We thank you for your attendance and your support of our students and graduates. We especially thank the parents and families who have provided care and made sacrifices and given love, commitment, encouragement and yes, money. Will all the parents, spouses, children, and family members of our graduates please stand and allow the graduates and allow us to applaud you for your support of our students and the Claflin University graduates. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me acknowledge another special group of individuals who worked hard to help our students achieve their educational objectives. The Claflin University world-class faculty. Will you please stand, faculty, and be recognized, the Claflin University faculty. We also want to acknowledge the members of the university's dedicated and devoted staff. Staff members who are present, will you please stand and let us applaud you for your hard work at Claflin University. We thank all of you who have served in various capacities to make our commencement convocation a success, including the commencement committee, the marshals, the ushers, hosts, and hostesses. Thank you very much. And now we have reached the end of our commencement convocation. To the audience, we will ask that after the benediction that you will be seated so that we can have an orderly processional. At this point, will you please, all who are able, please stand for the singing of the Alma Mater, which is found on page 35 in the commencement program. Please stand. Following the Alma Mater, Reverend Cannon will deliver the benediction.
And now, class of 2017, President Tisdale, faculty, administration, and staff, distinguished guests, family, and friends, you are all bright and brilliant persons. You are all visionary leaders. And so go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all persons. Love and serve the Lord, rejoicing in the power of the Holy Spirit and the blessings of God the Father who made you, the blessings of His Son who redeems you and makes you whole, and the blessings of the Holy Spirit who will guide and sustain you all of your days, bless and keep you from this day and forevermore. Amen.
Can we all be seated? Please be seated.